Hey, I'm Maile Moon, and I will be part of the mystery school Sounds of Light for next year. And I'm really excited to be sharing about the astrology, the energies of the day, and the moon cycles. So, what about the energy of today? Today we have a new moon in Scorpio, and every new moon is a really, really good time in the moon cycle for planting new seeds. So, it's a very fertile time, and it's a time where we focus on the thing we want to flourish, the thing we want to see grow in our life. Any project, but it can be professional, it can be emotional, it can be within our relationships and within our personal or non-personal life. And at that moment, the moon and the sun are in the same place on the zodiac, and they're touching each other. And it's a time where the sun, which represents the conscious energy within us, is implementing something in the subconscious, which is the moon. And then we enter a 2-week cycle until the moon reach the opposition with the sun, and we have a full moon. And at the full moon, the conscious light of the sun is highlighting the subconscious and the unconscious, represented by the moon within us, and we receive a clearer idea of what's happening or insight, and we can keep on going with the cycles of the moon. And we'll talk later about the full moon energy. But so for this moon specifically, it's now happening in Scorpio. And Scorpio is the archetype of transformation. It's a really, really intense energy, a really deep energy. It's a water element, so it's ruling all about emotion, the vibration of emotion. And it's also a fixed energy, so imagine fixed water. It's really, really like exploring the depth of our own inner ocean. And with this archetype, we enter on the procession of archetype through the 12 zodiac sign. When we arrive in Scorpio, we're really entering the depth of our being. We're touching all the energies connected to what's denied, what's been buried, like our fears, conscious and unconscious fears, all the things we don't want to see. So it's really more about shadow work, I would say. And the aim of this exploration is to dive super deep within ourselves so we can purify all of this, we can transform all of these energies, and the soul can then ascend in the next archetype, which is Sagittarius, and then it can just like reach up again. But for that, we need to embrace everything about us, what we like, what we don't like, the beauty, the ugly, everything. So that's really the general energy playing out right now. But more than that, it's a really important new moon that we have today, because it's kind of entering the closure, I would say, of this scorpionic energy that was actually ruling all this year, 2018, since about October, November of last year, 2017, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, entered into Scorpio. And for each person, for each one of us, it started to bring stuff up to the surface. So maybe a trauma that we didn't really resolve, or emotional charge that we hold inside of us, or anything that is blocking our expansion, but that we don't want to deal with, had the opportunity to pop up in our life, in our personal life. Maybe it was mirrored through the people or the situation that happened to us. And we just went through this intense year of transformation. Or maybe when we don't want to go in the transformation, it just creates tension, or some pain coming back, some emotion coming back. And now we're closing this circle right now, as Jupiter has done its clearing in our subconscious world, unconscious world, and is moving, actually from today, it's moving into Sagittarius. And so this new moon comes really at a time where we're doing this closure. So it's an intense day, it's an intense new moon, but it's also bringing up the last theme. It's like a good opportunity for what is the last thing I want to deal with right now. Is there something else, another layer I want to address right now? Is a really good time until we can breathe a little bit more. And the energies are going to be more light, with the moon then going into Sagittarius and Gemini, and more optimistic. And another important transit that has been happening that is linked to this new moon is Venus, the planet of personal, interpersonal relationships and pleasures, desires, and love, in a sense of what we want in our life. This planet has been retrograding into Scorpio as well, and is now at the end of its retrograde period. So it's bringing up especially a theme that you can focus on for this new moon, which is about relationships, the relationship to self and the relationships to other people, partners or close people around us, and about our boundaries and our power. Are we empowered within our relationship, or do we give our power away? And if we do give our power away, where do we give our power away is a thing to observe. Where do we want to take that power back, so we can respect our boundaries, respect our needs, and respect our desires? And yeah, it's also brought us to a depth, a level deeper into this relationship to self and to others. What's blocking the highest expression of my relationships? What emotional charge do I still hold within me? And I would say, concerning that, using this new moon energy to just have a time for yourself and focus on, maybe forgiveness, and which people are you ready to forgive right now, and use this energy for really releasing the emotional charge that we hold. So it's not about saying something is okay when we've been hurt, but it's about releasing that energy, that emotional charge that we hold on to, and that's slowing us in our expansion, in our growth, and in our well-being. And when we release that, then we have more space for cultivating what we want to cultivate for this new moon. So the other themes that you can focus on would be, where have I been disempowered, and where do I need to cultivate empowerment? Where do I want to cultivate healthy boundaries? So we always focus for new moon on more positive aspect of thing. On the full moon, we focus on releasing, but now it's more like, why do I want to cultivate? So where do I want to cultivate healthy boundaries? Where do I want to cultivate a healthy feeling of empowerment? And then other theme would be, where do I want transformation? Where do I want to bring transformation right now in my life? Or where do I want to bring emotional healing? So I talked also about the water sign. When the moon is a water sign, we cultivate healthy emotion. And now it's more about, since it's in Scorpio, in the depths of Scorpio, we're gonna explore where we have those repressed emotions, the thing we don't want to touch, the thing we don't want to focus on. Where do we want to bring healing? In which of these areas in our life? And where do I need courage to face fears, to face my fears, my deepest fears, or my shadow? Where do I want to cultivate courage or bring support, to help me go through something complicated? And it's also the sign of regeneration, so where do I want to invoke total regeneration in my life? And there are 3 steps of Scorpio that are interesting to go through. It's 3 different symbols in this archetype. So we start with the scorpion, the animal, which has a strong shell, and it's protecting. So we're more on a level of like, oh, you try to attack me, I attack you back, because Scorpio, they feel so much. So when you feel so much, you need to have a hard shell around you to protect those feelings. And then when you evolve a step higher in this more like defense attack thing, you go into the symbol of the serpent, the snake. So there we embrace more the healing energies of Scorpio. And the snake is about healing, but it still can defend itself if it needs. So it's still aware of what's happening around, and feeling the energies, but it's more embracing the healing energies within us. So where do you want to step out of the defense and attack mechanism and embrace a more healing energy? And then we move to the last layer, which is the phoenix, the symbol of the phoenix, the eagle, burning and dying, and it's the ultimate purification, and then it's reborn. it's reborn new, it's reborn purified, and we went to the depth to purify our soul so we can rise again to a new us, a new me. So where do I need to bring a full purification, a full transformation to my whole being, and what is ready to die, what is ready to die, so I can go and follow my path, so I can be free, so I can express the highest expression of myself. So that's also a thing you can focus on. And yeah. If you want to use ritual work, you can take a moment to really be present and embody those shifts, embody those new intention. And I would advise to write your intention down, and then you can do whatever you feel like doing to bring you into this present moment state, and meditate or listen to music or sing or gather with people and create a ceremonial space. And then you can use the two elements that are key in this new moon, and use the water for connecting to your emotions and bringing clearing also and healing energy. And you can put just a bowl of water and you can work with it how you feel like. And you can use the element of fire. So normally we would burn things on a full moon because it's about release, but now we kind of need to use this scorpionic energy for doing this rebirth process. So you can also use fire for burning everything that symbolize something that's not needed in your life anymore. And you can burn the paper where you wrote stuff, you can burn a symbolic object to you, and really connect to the purifying energy and transformative energy of fire. And then just cultivate, embody, feel how it is, where you embrace this transformation. When you embrace, you allow, you surrender to this depth of these things that are blocking you, and the freedom, the space, the spaciousness that comes with it afterwards. And you can really, create your own little ritual and mark this moment and reflect what has been happening this year, and especially these last months, and reflect on where you're going right now with new insights, because things have come up for a reason. So you can realize where you're at and realize where you're going, and just embody, visualize your highest expression, and visualize if you're already where you want to be, and really bring this energy using all your emotional magic. So you need to really feel the things so you can embody them and bring their manifestation into your reality. So that's what I would advise and share with you for this new moon.